everyone. I hope you guys are doing really well. So it's time to check into the Harris Walz team again, and let's do their weekly reading. See how how the week will go for them. Hopefully, they're getting a lot of rest after the convention. So, anyway, let me just bring it over my table and get this going. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to use the Lenny's for Tim and the tarot for Kamala. And let me just tune in a little bit more. I have already shuffled pretty well and allowed for reversals with the tarot. We don't read reversals with the Lenny's or the Kipper. Well, some people do. You can if you want, I guess. I don't. But anyway. Oh, Kamala. How will your week go? August 26th through September 1st. I hope there's some rest before she's, preparing for the debate with the felon. I absolutely loved hearing Elizabeth Warren call him the felon, and then she wouldn't trust. She said she wouldn't trust Trump and J.D. Vance to move her couch. And she went, yeah, I went there. Oh, God. I've always loved her. Okay, but Kamala. Kamala Mamala. Now we know where the Mamala came from. Okay, yeah, she's a little stressed, still a little burned out. It's probably going to take some time to let go, just to get it going. When we have the Four of Swords coming through in the reverse position, let me move it over this way so I have enough room. Probably about there. It does indicate burnout. It does indicate maybe some restlessness. And maybe she's just kind of over giving sometimes, because it's Jupiter in Libra, so Jupiter, it expands and can be excessive, and then Libra is all about relationship and communication. Maybe she just really wants a day or two to kind of, crawl under a rock, as we would say, and instead everybody wants to talk to her and congratulate her, and she doesn't. She doesn't get that. So, but I hope she's learning some really, well, I'm sure she has incredible, assistance and support. But, yeah, it's, when I get this card reverse, I just think burnout, or maybe being restless. So maybe she's thinking too much about the debate coming up, although she could probably walk into it just totally cold and do just fine. But I imagine she really, prepares. I'm sure she prepares. So, okay, her challenge, it has to do with the energy to just move forward and get a lot done. Okay, I'll just leave that there. I don't know what else to say about that. Where she is, well, the energy she's kind of sitting in, but also has great control over. This position up here, we do have control. With the Five of Swords reversed, she's open to change if need be. This is our Venus in Aquarius, so Venus is all about harmony, and then Aquarius usually is about openness. But upright, it's like conflict and loss and all of that. When it's reversed, I feel like it's being open to change something. And hold on one second. And maybe letting go of some old resentments. Maybe this has to do with something with Trump, that she's like, well, maybe I shouldn't say those certain things that I really want to say. Now, on another level, too, this is a card of going within and being more reclusive. So these, this 4 and 5 of Swords coming through reverse does make sense to me. So hopefully she's recuperating well. Um, Actually, maybe I will use the Kipper over here and then do a separate one on, I think I will. I'll do that instead and then do a separate one on, on Tim. I'll just pick up the cards and start over. In the past, well, here's our card for traveling and getting to smoother waters, and that's definitely, So today, I'm reading this on Friday. She just finished up her convention. Oh, darn it. I can't, this stupid deck. Yeah, I'm going to have a lot of glare. And it's a dark, dreary day. I know what. I'll use my other Kipper deck. It's a dark, dreary day in Oregon. And I have special lights for when it's dark, but they put a glare on those glossy decks that, there are only two of them that I have that way, and they drive me nuts sometimes. But anyway, this is traveling home, getting to smoother waters. It was just an overwhelming amount of energy that she's sitting in. She's recuperating, bottom line. What's hanging above her with no control, but then again, it's up to her, always up to all of us, to when we get the devil reversed, that's our card from breaking free from bondage, breaking free from, it's basically, you're like a power management issue with the devil, and whatever we're attached to, we can take the chains off, the chains just kind of fall off, and yeah, sorry I had to paint with this deck. I had to paint clothes over their little bits because, YouTube. My channel's not made for children, and it's only art, but hey. So, dimmer the rules. I feel like she's got her power fully back. That's what's hanging over her, is to get her power back, and she's going to have to rest in order to do that. Near future with the Two of Swords, and this is, a moon in Libra, so it does have to do with that need for, for balance. She might be at kind of a stalemate of wanting, like her mind, I think, here's how I'm feeling it. The mind wants to get things done and be prepared, and the emotional body and the physical body are like, go inside and rest. Give yourself a break. And Tim is like the guy that says, we'll rest when we're dead, or we'll sleep when we're dead. Well, easiest way to get to the dead place is not to rest. So, come on, man. Typical Aries. That's an Aries. Okay. What she's attracting this week, we have Judgment reversed. So it's like she's trying to figure out who to trust on some levels. Maybe she's trying to figure out like her cabinet positions already. You know what I mean? Sometimes this can be a card of self-doubt. Maybe she's, totally examining everything that she said and she's trying to make it better. That kind of a thing. That's a typical Libra response to life, is to make sure that our words are right, and we tend to rehash things. So, yeah. But this could also be Donald Trump's really negative judgment of her, because, he absolutely refuses to examine himself. And so he just spews his own self-doubt, his own fear. So, but, yeah, this card, when it comes to reverse, we're talking big changes. So I really hope she gets the time she needs. And then external, so this is what she's attracting on, external levels, internal levels. What's coming on, or how people are affecting her externally. This is Donald Trump and his own weakness. It's his own weakness. Now, and this week will be the worst for him, I would think, because it's not good. let's see, what else? And then the next one is a distant future. We've got the King of Pentacles reversed. I am wondering if, let's see, maybe if I can do it this way. I'm wondering if that has to do with, well, it always usually has to do with money. When we're dealing with, I'm feeling like Project 2025 here. I'm feeling like, because it's reversed, like the authoritarian, top-down control kind of a thing. That's what she's fighting. That's what she's fighting. But it is a card of control and dominance when it comes, well, even upright, it's dominance. So I'm wondering. I'm just going to kind of let that sit there for a little bit. For this entire week, with the outcome of the Page of Cups reversed, well, it's news. The pages always bring through news. When it's the Cups, it's about relationships and emotional immaturity and creative blocks and feeling very weighed down. So if she doesn't get rest this week, I think she's going to regret it. So I really hope that she does. Okay, bear with me, and you can look at those cards if you want while I get this one shuffled. So check into Tim. Or no, I'm going to stay with her. I'm going to stay with her and use a Kipper, and then do a separate reading on Tim. Sorry, I forgot I set that intention. Because I still want to see, do we have a health issue going on here, and is she going to, whatever it is, she'll be okay. We do have a lot of air and water. One fiery card. This one's ruled by Pluto. So major transformation could come in there. But, there's a new corona bug. They just announced yesterday that there's a new, in one more week, there'll be a new vaccine for the variant that just came out, or the variant that everybody's been dealing with, or not everybody. But, everyone at a convention screaming and yelling at you, and all that spewing going up on the stage. I mean, it's a super spreader event. And nobody's wearing masks anymore. I did see a couple of people, though, masked up, which is good. Okay. Kamala, how's your week? How will your week go? August 26th through September 1st. Right there. Ooh, okay. There she is. We have the restraint card. Sad news. Court official. That could be, this is like the adjudication card in the, could be somebody with a complaint. In Chura Marchetta's Kipper, this is the adjudication card. Yeah, and she's looking right at the coffin, which is put your feet down and rest like a baby. Maybe this has to do with, well, sad news can definitely be coming from the outer world, but it can also be, like, this could be a COVID test. I really hope she doesn't have COVID. Now, this would be Doug taking care of her, I think. And then here we are with sorrow and confined. Yeah, okay. I think, well, let's see. Actually, I do have a little more room. I can do 5 more, but just with this 9 box right here. Yeah, there's her house, restricted to her house. And thinking, oh my God, oh no. I think she's either really tired, and if she doesn't rest, she has support though. I love seeing this. Male and female support that's strong. And then maybe it's just balancing things out, but then there's something, this is interesting, to have these two legal cards come through. I'm wondering if, well, bottom line, I could say rest needs to happen. Otherwise, there really will be a painful loss, and it just needs to stay down. And the tarot definitely relates to that. Being free from the bondage of workaholism is up here. That's the hallmark there. Same thing here with these other cards. Weakness, needing to stay down. And then the water, this watery air and water situation, lungs and, mucous membranes, things like that. But then over here with the Kipper, she is home. Or maybe this is her back at the White House, and she's like, oh, I'm so tired, and she can't really think straight. And she does have support, and I love that, because here's Doug, and here's some other supportive woman over 50. But then this court card, there could be some important discovery, some important legal discovery about, and maybe it has to do with Trump. But again, here she is kind of, confined to her own quarters. And it's possible that the sad news, like I said, could be a positive COVID test and has her kind of, in a state of going within. But then again, it could be small. The child card brings something either new or small or new start. Maybe this is like sad news having to do with a legal issue that she expected to get going for Trump, and then something is put off. Well, I'll find out when I do his. I'll use the Kipper when I do his weekly reading next. This is so interesting, because the court card has to do with discovery, but it also is my, both of these cards have to do with SCOTUS. So there could be something there, something about SCOTUS coming out. What I'm seeing here, based on the house and the living room card and the change card next to the coffin card, is that I don't see her out on the road. I see her not traveling this week, and I could definitely relate to that. Too much travel and so many people, and that's so much energy going through a sensitive body. She's sensitive. And, Tim's a very powerful guy, and he's got all his energy out there. And I could imagine that it's so much, and you absolutely have to regroup in order to integrate. And, you have to, when you expand, there's 3 cosmic forces in the universe: expansion, contraction, and stasis. When you expand, there's always a contraction, and sometimes it feels awful, and that might be what all this is. But the stasis brings in that integration. It's just like in astrology. There's the cardinal signs, the movement-oriented, and there's the fixed signs that hold things together, and then there's the mutable signs that assimilate and absorb and, integrate. So I don't see it being an easy week for her. Okay, but it's just 1 week, and she'll be fine. She'll be fine. She has tons of support here. So we'll just have to wait and see what it is that's, maybe something gets rescheduled. If it's not a COVID situation, then it could be something that gets rescheduled that brings her a little bit of sorrow. But I really think she's just dog tired. That's how I'm going to read that. So, okay, let me bring these together. I think I'll just use the Kipper again with Tim. I think I'll just do that instead of both. Okay, maybe I can bring the camera down a little bit too. All right. Okay, Mr. Tim Walz. He's like the funniest guy and super strong. Just tons of energy coming through him. Meanwhile, Trump is trying to say he was only an assistant coach. I don't even know if that's true. Who cares? Okay, Tim. Let me just focus on Tim. Tim Walz. Tim, how's your week gonna go? Okay, right there. Okay, so that might be his daughter or somebody younger that supports him. Well, let's see. Sorrow up there as well. Here he is. Now that's interesting. So over time, yeah, he's needing the rest too. It might be that he's feeling sorry for Kamala. Okay, but these cards are really good. Here's his wife down here supporting him. Yeah, I see what it is. There we go. Let's go ahead and I have plenty of room. I'll do 7 for him. Again, he looks like maybe he's got some travel going on. Okay, so this is usually a daughter, but it could also be somebody younger that works for him. But it could be a daughter that gets sick, and he feels terrible about it because it happened at the convention, because that convention, all conventions without the mask, when there's still COVID, are super spreader events. And indoors are worse than outdoors, but they're safer as far as, the real protection that they need. So he wants to, I think it's a daughter or whoever this is that supports him or he loves or cares about, or it could be a work person that, and he's feeling sorry that that they can't meet, or that something's gotten canceled. This could be a cancellation here. Or it could be rest that's needed. Now, if this is a daughter, she has to rest, has to go through the illness, because this is definitely a card of rest or illness. It could be, both. And here's the mom, right? Here's Gwen. And then there's movement later. But here he is, I think, pretty much at home as well. We've got the home card here and the 4 walls, and that just kind of circling around at home. But I think that he's going to have quite a bit of support. I think he has somebody out there trying to help with donations. So I don't see him as catching anything, because he's up here in a position of control. But his wife and his daughter, I don't know. And he's worried about it. He's worried about whatever this is for these gals. I feel like it's they're not. They either caught something at the convention or they're just not feeling good. And he is feeling helpless about it. But he's doing good. You know, this great fortune card down here really does help the other cards. I mean, this is the only negative. Well, actually, these two cards knighting together kind of mess up this one. Yeah. He's really looking forward far, far into the future. And he has good support, and he's working on bringing in donations. And he will get them. That change is coming. But yeah, he's feeling like, oh darn it, you know, I wanted everything to be really happy, and he wants to like celebrate at home with his family, but somebody's sick, and it's like, oh darn it. But here again, he does have support. Maybe this is his mother-in-law or his mother, if he's lucky to have either one of them, or fortunate, I should say. But let's see. With the four corners, I feel like he has a lot of invitations, but he has to stay home, and he feels like it's kind of taken away from what he really wants to do, because he wants to be there for his family. It's just the way it is when somebody gets sick. You know, you don't just leave them and go have fun. But he looks fine, I think, and again, it brings it all full circle, and the change happens, and you know, there's money coming in. There's lots of donations coming in. Now, that court official card came through again for him, and I feel like this is just because one of the meanings with this card is just a complaint. So, it could be whoever is helping him with his family is kind of complaining about, you know, you got to stay home. It could be something like that. But he's in a good position up here. So I'm not so worried about that at all. But it does, you know, we do have the theme for both of them with the you know, the kind of like decompressing, the decompression that needs to happen after every big event. Decompression. So, okay. I think that's it. Thanks, you guys. Take good care. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And join Lisa and I tomorrow live if you can. 12 noon Pacific. Okay, bye.